The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name, for the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. All right, back at it here. It's going to take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do this. So what you want to do is probably watch the first way I divide this up, and then I start working on them, and then you can go right to the end. But if you want to understand why I'm changing words, then hang in there and watch. How blessed is he who considers the helpless. YV will deliver him in the day of trouble. YV will protect him and keep him alive, and he will be called blessed upon earth. And do not give him over to the desire of his enemies. YV will sustain him upon his sick bed in his illness, YV did destroy. No, YV will restore him to health. As for me, usually when that is said, I can get rid of that. I said, YV be gracious to me, heal my soul. Well, soul, this writer doesn't know the difference between a soul and your body. For I have sinned against you. My enemies speak against me. And when will he die and his name perish? And when he comes to see me, he speaks falsehoods. His heart gathers wickedness to itself. Then he goes outside and tells it. All who hate me whisper together against me to devise my hurt. A wicked thing is poured out upon him, that he lies down and he will not rise up. Even my close friend in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, has lifted his heel against me. But you, YV, be gracious to me and raise me up that I may repay him. By this I know you are pleased with me, because my enemy does not shout in triumph over me. Like I said, those words don't mean nothing. You did uphold me in my integrity. You did set me in. You did set me in. You did set me in your presence forever. Blessed be YV, the Creator of Israel, from everlasting, everlasting. Amen, amen. Okay, now as you see, I've already went through the text and found the Hebrew word for the title God, and I've explained why I changed it to Creator. Because I'm the guy that went and done all the searches in all those 2,300 and some odd verses, and went through every one of them to see whether the title Our Creator worked or the title God. And I found when you look at Genesis, replace the word title God and put in Our Creator, it's beautiful. Our Creator created. Our Creator said, let there be light. Our Creator said, let there be these things. So, not how blessed. Blessed comes from our Creator. Blessed is he who considers the helpless. Well, let's just put it this way. Let me go like this and say that those two connect together. He will deliver him in the day of his trouble. But really, that's not correct. Our Creator usually saves the whole tribe, or many of the tribes, when they're going to war. To consider him to deliver him a day of trouble, example, that would be like David going to war, and our Creator, he seeks the answer from our Creator, and our Creator says, go do this, and I'll be with you. So it's not really a day of trouble, but it's a day of battle. But he will protect him and keep him alive. But somebody here knows the verses, how they're hooked together. And he will be blessed. He will be called blessed. He will be called his blessed. His blessed. Well, that all the earth didn't hear about them yet. He will be called blessed, and do not give him over. Okay. He will protect him and keep him alive, and not give him over, comma, to the desires of an enemy. So right now I can say that this verse is just stuck in here, and it's wrong. Why they will protect him and keep him alive, and and not give him over, and not give him. Well, the desires of the enemy, they're trying to kill him, so that's hard to say here. Wybie will sustain him upon his sick bed. In his illnesses, Wybie did restore him to health. But the object here is he doesn't sustain him. Okay? Our Creator does not sustain you. I said, Wybie, be gracious to me, heal my soul. But the soul can't be healed, can't be done, nothing, can't destroy it, can't kill it. Our Creator teaches us that. So that means this is out. Now, let me see something here. Start the movie anyway. For I have sinned against you. Now, here's the thing about this writer. Right now I can say he does not understand what the word sin means. As you've seen in the beginning, the intro there, our Creator had assigned 12 commandments. He told them that in this deal in the Sinai, that I'm going to make a nation out of you and you're going to obey me, and this deal is I will bless you and make you prosper and have children, and your children will have my blessing and will continue, and the enemy will be gone as long as you obey the commandments. If not, I'm going to send you away into captivity. So the thing here is they agreed, and then the descendants later fell away. But our Creator also told Moses to build a tent for meeting for him. And everything that was built in the tent for meeting with him in the Sinai was about bringing a sin offering for not obeying those 12 commandments. So he is literally defining what the word sin is by saying that they need to atone for their sin for not obeying which one of these commandments. So this person here, I have sinned against you, that is out. He can't do that and remain. They just didn't. I mean, the king, they were very obedient to him. I mean, after all, he just took them through the test, took them through the sea, took them into the promised land, rested on the land, knew they cleaned them all out. And you got to understand, little Israel That nation was around for easy, I think, 1,000 years. Think of that. 1,000 years that little country existed. Okay. The countries today change back and forth. Within 300-400 years, dozens will change back and forth. So the thing here is very rare to see one country last as long, especially not a very big one at that. I mean, it's only like 100 miles long and maybe 40 miles, 60 miles wide in some spots. I said, Wyvie, be gracious to me, and I asked Wyvie, not said. You don't just tell our Creator to do something. So the word said is not right. My enemies speak evil against me, because this is more in rhythm with what's going down, what's been being said. My enemies speak evil against me. When will he die and his name perish? Now that is probably the best 4-verse grouping we've found so far. But as you see, I'm starting to find 4 groups, 4 group, 4 group. So right now we have a 4-verse format, and it wasn't hard to find. Anybody can do these, especially when the text is reading like this, and I don't even need to edit anything yet. Okay. When he comes to see me, he speaks falsehood. His heart gathers wickedness. To itself. You can't do that. The heart is connected to the person. When it goes outside, he tells it. There's too much being said that I can't divide it in. That's just a different subject. All who hate me whispered against me. Okay, that and this hook. Against me they devised. I don't know, I'm having a hard time putting those together right now. That when he lies down, he will not rise again. I don't know if that's connecting to above or below right now. Even my close friend, in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, is lifted up against me. Okay, now this here now means that this has to be tied together here. So, even my close friend, whom I trusted, ate bread with me, has lifted up, not really lifted up, but there's another word for that that's got to be put there. So that's going to get a word put in after there. But you, Wyvie, be gracious to me and raise me up that I may pay them. I don't know if that just became a 3-verse or not. By this I know you are pleased with me. Well, if he rises up, and And if I put the word and here, repay them, then it becomes, by this I know you are pleased with me. Okay, so that's starting to get a little bit better. Because my enemy does not shout and trump over me, that's weird. That I can't make it a 4 verse. That's odd. But you notice all of a sudden 3 verse popped in here. Now we cannot bless our Creator, so that's and this would have to be our Creator. And this is where I said in the other videos that they know him as the Creator of Israel. And this is the nation Israel, so all letters get capitalized. And later I'll put them in bold text. Well, let me do it now, because that's the meaning of the nation Israel. From everlasting to everlasting, amen, amen. Now, I've got a real good start, except down here I got 3 verses. I got a little trouble here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here again. Blessed is man. And this would be because it's coming from our Creator. Because it just can't be he, so it has to be man to include male and female. So we do not leave females out, even though the text, we haven't found much ever in any of the text about females entering into heaven or included in the blessings of our Creator. Blessed is man who considers the helpless. And deliver them. And I'm not sure about the word deliver. It could be redeemed at the day of their death, in the day of trouble. Why we will protect them and keep them alive and not give them over to the desire of their enemy. And it doesn't need to be enemies. There are enemies at different times. Example, when Babylon came down, Chaldeans sided with them. But when it became other enemies, it would have been like when David's last battle against Edom, that Aram's people from Damascus area sided with Edom in battle, David. So there's a place for enemies. Other than that, there's not many other places that I can say enemies at all. So I have to make this enemy just single. Could I change that? Yep. It all depends on the text, what the text tells me, especially when it starts getting cleaned up. Now, I don't know why this is stuck in here. Okay. For the simple fact, he will protect and keep them alive, not give them over their enemies. And then it would be, if it's holding true, these two small verses will make or two small paragraphs will make a larger paragraph. So but here, desire my enemies, and then my enemies speak evil against me. Against us, evil against us. Well, it's getting a little warm here. I got the AC on, but I got the big light on, so that's why you don't see too much shadows. So let's see here. Against us. No, wait a second. Something happened here. Yeah, okay. When I moved forward, I did that. When will they die? When will they die off? Because it's kind of like what's being said in the next verse. And their name ends, not perishes. It has to be ends. Like I was saying at the beginning, perish ends. It's within. Let's put it this way. Let me go over here to the concordance, see what I've got here. Verse perish. Now perish. What I'm looking for over here is ends. And the ease, die, lost, give up, ease, lost, broke. No, I don't see the word end in here. But destroyed, destruction, dying, fails, lacks, lost, perishes, and wiped out. The word wiped out was not one word, so I can't. I like the word end, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I think it's close enough that it's within the shadow to say I didn't need to add the word, I just needed to replace it for a better word. And their name ends. And when he comes to see me, he speaks falsehood. Now, wait a minute. If he's the enemy, how can they just come and talk to me? So this is abruptly different than from what's going on above. Okay? So this is the first text that I'm going to take and I'm going to clean it up to see what's going on. Down here. And then what I'm going to do is go with this more. And then that first one I want 8 point. Because when I made them that bluish color, that was 8 point. And then I want it down from this mark. So when I click replace all, they all disappear. And because I've got a lot of text below yet, I made sure all these are 9 points so I didn't have to erase all of that and then figure out what happened to it. So let's see how well I did here. I just need to do a few cleanups here. Okay. If I clean that up, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Okay with that. Ask, yep. Body, heal my body. and dies off. I think that's pretty much referring to ends. Okay. Blessed is man who considers the helpless. YV will deliver them in their day, and it wouldn't, and from what it sounds like, what the text is saying, in their days, not just that, but their days of trouble. YV will protect them and keep them alive and not give them over to the desire of their enemies. Blessed is man who considers the helpless. Let me take a look at the word considers. That's starting to bug me, because that's the only that sentence is reading out of place. And we have instructs, prosper, succeed, understanding, wisdom. I don't think there's going to be much behind that. So now helpless. I like the word poorest. So, but even that doesn't actually, helpless was used only 7 times. Poor was used 29 times. So, and it'd have to be our poor. They're in the land, no strangers were supposed to be there. So it would be this, our poor, and not the poor, who considers our poor. Blessed is our King who considers our poor. YV will deliver him in the days of his trouble. YV will protect him and keep him alive and not give him over to the desires of his enemy. Okay, so I had this wrong up here. Okay. And it's not going to be man. So it's going to be back to him. Him. Now, and this, blessed is our King. And this, because I'm adding this completely. Well, I guess I could do it like this and just say, blessed is our. Blessed is our King who considers our poor. YV will deliver them in his days. Oh, this has to be added. That's too far away, so this would be his days of trouble. YV will protect him and keep him alive and not give him over to the desires of his enemy. And this would have to be enemies now. IES, meaning that he could have battles after battle. So that happened a few times. So I can definitely say I think the word enemies is correct here. YV will sustain him upon a 6-bet. My enemies speak evil against me. When will he but I'm going to leave it as they here. The enemy is wanting to get rid of the people. So I'm thinking that's correct. So now let me grab this, redo that to begin with. So I don't have to go down here and reorder everything here. Now come up here. Oops, I know that's going to be gone. Put that there. This has to be changed every time. Okay. Blessed is our King who considers our poor. In his days of trouble, Ivy will protect him and keep him alive and not give him over to the desires of his enemies. Ivy will, and this text is just reading out of place. So I'm going to make it yellow. There's no reason for this to be here. It's talking about times of trouble for the enemy to come over. Now this doesn't have anything about the enemies and just starts out with sickness. Down here we have enemies. And yet this here is also speaking about that. So I'm going to make that yellow as well. Now we'll protect him and keep him alive and not give him over to the desires of enemies. For our enemies speak evil against us. When will they die off and their name will end? This before our enemies speak evil against us. And I'm hoping you can see why I'm doing this. Because I'm bypassing this. And this has already been added. This is the new edit. Okay. Blessed is our King who considers our poor. YV will deliver him in his day of trouble. This is the word I'm happy with now, because it's in battle and he would deliver them. That's a good use of the word deliver, meaning tied to a battle, or against the enemy. That's a great word, delivered. I don't want to use, I'm really particular on trying to keep each word meaning the same, what it's supposed to mean, and not have 16 different references. And people say, well, it could mean this, it could mean that, it could mean that. I want them to be able, when they search all the word delivers, this is what our Creator is doing, the delivering from their enemy, okay? Or delivering them from the abyss, or redeeming them from the abyss, delivering them on earth from their enemy. Sorry about that. YV will protect him and keep him alive. Protect him and keep him alive. And not give him over to the desires of his enemies. For our enemies speak evil against us. When will they die off and their name ends? So right now I'm seeing that this is out. It doesn't tie in anything, but it might later. It might later. So I got to save it, and I'll leave it as yellow. Now that I know that what's going on here, this, when it starts to speak falsehood and heart gathers wickedness, and he goes outside and tells it, all who hate me, and tells, this is almost like that verse, go here, he tells everyone he hates me, and they whisper together against me. And all of a sudden, I've got 3 verses. And it's not when, it would be then. We'll start correcting the easy ones. But I'm trying to put in who would be this to be against whoever here, who's ever being talked about. And when his heart doesn't gather, so his heart, in his heart, has to be in his heart now. In his heart is wickedness for me, and then this would be a comma, and this would be a period. This would be a period, comma, period. A statement, and then the next two kind of make what this says the statement is. Then he goes outside. I think 2 could be used as well. I'll put it here. Tells not everyone, has to be just many. I mean, you can't go around talk to the whole nation, but many. Then he tells many. He hates me. And they whisper against me. I don't want to add the word together. And they whisper against me. I can just leave the word together, doesn't need. But all of a sudden now we got 3 verse, okay? Being said by who and at what time? I got no idea. Although I am thinking one king, and that would be the very last king who was listening to advisors, and he started talking to the prophet Jeremiah to find out what was going to happen to him. And they were trying to kill Jeremiah. They threw him in a well that was almost dry of water, but down the bottom was muck. So then they go outside to tell many they hate me. It might be that way, and they whispered against him because they were talking about getting rid of him. And I think what it is because they were wanting to turn themselves over, where he was still had not allowing anybody to go out, keeping the gates sealed. Well, Babylon was out the front door. Against me they devised for my hurt. And I don't like the word for my death. A wicked thing is poured out upon him. Against me they devised. Against me they planned. Not devised, but planned. Let me see how that word plays with the text here. That's 7. So down here, okay. And my plotted plans, okay. I like the word plans, not plotted, but the word planned will stick. Against me they planned for my hurt. Against me they planned. A wicked thing. Against me they planned for my death, that when I lie down, I will not rise up again. Okay, that would mean that this has to be taken out. Then this becomes the what's being planned for here. Planned for my death, not hurt, death. Attack him at night, maybe, when he's sleeping. Okay. Let's see what hurt does. I think that might death to hurt. Where's my mouse? Hurt. Evil. They planned evil. Evil is a word that's against our Creator, so I don't like to use that. So I don't want to use that word. Against me they planned for my misfortune. Hurt 5 times. For my, I don't want to use this. troubles, trouble, wickedness, wrongdoing. Against me they planned for my hurt. That doesn't sound right, that when he lays down, he will not rise up. I like the word death, but that is so far away that it's not close enough to the text. I know that, but it's replacing a better, proper word for this, that when he lies down, he will not rise up. That when I lie down, now you're getting the idea that it was written by a king and not. So we know that these are words from a king who was in trouble with the people. There's many kings on the Israel side, but why would a good king or an evil king's words be written and saved? They usually don't do that. They just tell how bad he was, and they give the situations of what happened. Prophets will speak against him. Our Creator will speak against them. Stories of the punishment will happen. But now to say that a good king, though, would be able to write these things, and it would be against the enemy that want to hurt him. That's kind of odd, because now that I'm getting a feel for this text, I'm trying to think of a king, and I got to go through this list just to remind me what's going on at what time. The capital letters are good kings, and then little letters are bad kings. And you can see Israel was mainly bad kings. They wouldn't have planned against Jehu, no, because it ended up being good after that for many years. They had good 50 or 30 years, or at least 40. So, but there's not much written about him, nor him. This guy, no, these guys aren't good enough. Now here, could it be Josiah? Because this guy was not right. He took up the meditation practice and had sex with the so-called female goddess and put her idol in the house for our Creator, and that meant the priests were there, that they were that corrupt as well. So when a good king would have come along, yes, we might have Josiah's words here. Okay? That's how well I can tell the text, although, yeah, they would have been planning against him, but this, now, hey, just like that. It would have to be a good king. Words from Josiah. Whoops, these have to be 9 point, and they have to be blue. Okay. And they go right here, right now. They'll go above here. Well, I might as well put them there now, right? So, words from Josiah. And I better put a couple question marks just to say double check when I get the story cleaned up. But now when I lie down, I will not rise up again. Even my close friend. It'd have to be friends whom I trusted. Not close. Even my friends whom I trusted ate my bread, have risen against me. I knew that word wasn't going to be the best one. Lifted up. All right. Now, I know that I was here someplace, so I'm just going to continue that. I'm pretty sure these were Josiah's words. And you can see the three verse is working here. And I can see this is 4, so I got to say, now did we reverse and go to a 4 verse pattern again? But right now, I've got 3 verses up there, so I got to, maybe this can be made into 3 verse, maybe it can't be. Even my friends whom I trust, and that's exactly where I was at. I was going to put and here. And ate my bread has risen against me. That's a 4 verse. So we're going to have a 4 verse beginning, a 3 verse in the middle, and then a 4 verse. Now, will the 4 verses go and combine with the other ones? Have to wait and see as I'm going and doing here. Okay, very, very good. You have a good day, Lyle. Talk to you later. Please stop by again. Ate my bread has risen against me, but you, YV, be gracious to me, and rise me up. I guess that I repay them. By this I know you are pleased with me. See, all of a sudden, this is so out of context, because up here, above here, this is talking about the enemy. These verses here, I already know they don't go with anything else, and it's still not going with anything else. But this is a completely different subject here. Because my enemy does. Now, this is being just tied to this verse here. By this I know you are pleased with me, because my enemy does not shout over me. But it's his friends that's got to be tied here. So because my friends does not shout and triumph over me, because my bad friends, I don't know, I have to see how that goes, but because my enemy doesn't shout and triumph over me. That's a 4 verse. I've got a 3 verse here. But this would be a period, comma, period. And that's how that goes. You did uphold me in my integrity. Now, searching the word integrity here, and that is in verse 12 here. And we see blamed, innocent, fully, random, measure, upright. And that would almost be honesty here. You did. I get rid of that. I can change this O to E to you upheld me in my honesty. Now, oops. Now a 12-year-old can read it without having to go to a secular dictionary. So, you upheld me by my honesty. And it set me in your presence forever. This is not true. You upheld me by my honesty. See, now that would be a 4 verse if I go like this. I could tie those verses together. And you did set me in your presence forever. I'm going to just say that this is out. I don't see it connecting to anything here, there. And this is just not really important words here. It's not tying to it. We know our Creator is the Creator of Israel, so that text, don't need that. But now, let's see, where did I leave off? 5. Wow. Okay, let me grab this. Oh, I ended here. So this group here. Bring this down here. And put that there. Do that. Put down. Place all. Nope. Okay. Let me just say that. Clean these things up. These were 3 verse. So yep, that looks pretty good when it's cleaned up. Now it's a 4 verse. So I can't put them together because that's just too good of a 4 verse. And I think this text is actually really choppy. But let me see here. I don't need and because it's not really tying. It's starting off. So when he comes to see me, he speaks falsehood, and his heart is wickedness. And in his heart, he has wickedness for me. So this gets out. See, that's what happens when you clean the text up. You can read it and just make it flow correctly. Then he goes outside to tell many he hates me, and they whisper against me. Although they had the word together written after, and together they whispered against me. Against me they planned for my death, that when I lie down, I will not rise up again. Okay, now this becomes a 2-verse together. Those two small go together. This, no, I don't see this. I see that as being separate. But these two make a paragraph, a larger paragraph. But this goes to 4-verse. So instead of figuring that out every time, I make a note to myself, I guess. This one here, 3-verse. So, because I'm trying to hook things together. And even my friends whom I trusted and ate bread, even my friends whom I trusted and ate bread with, and get out my, oops, needs to be read, has risen against me. This would be like a scribe, that now they're not together on who our creator is. They're against him. So, and then he goes outside and tells many he hates me. And it was, that's 3-verse. Even my friends whom I trusted and ate bread with have risen against me. Now I'm trying to think if it was a king and ate my bread, even my friends whom I trusted. These wouldn't be friends, they'd be advisors. And I'm just checking it out because I wouldn't need this. I need this back. Whom I trusted and ate my bread have risen against me. Okay, now that makes sense because this now becomes words from a king, because he would be able to have his advisors being talking to him all of a sudden. And this here and this here, why they be gracious to me and raise me up that I repay them. By this I know you are pleased with me, because my enemy does not shout and triumph over me. You upheld me by my honesty. This is just pieces. I don't think they really mean anything, because well, wait a second, I forgot. Up here is 4-verse. Blessed is our King, for my people. No, it's talking about their king. So this would be a scribe writing about our king. You know, I could change this back to friends. If that's 4-verse, not even, it would be now, my friends, whom I trusted and ate bread with have risen against me. Because I'm looking at this. Enemies speak against us when they die off and their names end. Oh, I need the word even now. Even now, my friends, whom I trusted and ate my bread with, have risen against me. See how that works? That, and that would be something that I'm adding. Now, my friends, whom, and that would go with this. Those two go together, then these two would as well. So, that's how I want to edit it. And then there would be a space, 2 spaces, because that connects. Then I'd have to put 4 word here. For you upheld me by my honesty. I don't know how this is going to happen, how he's going to raise up that I'll be repaid. Why be gracious to me and raise me up. Oh, by this I know you are pleased with me, because my enemy now does not shout triumph over me. Now I have to use that word now again down here. Because my enemy now does not shout triumph over me. I don't know about the word triumph here. What is a better word? But I got to look over here, because I think, okay, they already got the word shout above there, so. Well, it is used as the word triumph once. Where is it then? Shout and triumph. Okay, so that means this word here. Okay. When they got 2 words like this, they put 2 words together. I have them divided. So that means I need to relook at the text and say that this verse is like this. Because my enemy does not shout, nor shout over me. The word shout being used twice then. Nor, because my enemy Now this has to be a comma. This has to be a period. This has to be a comma. Let's get that right. Because my enemy now does not shout, nor shout over me, for you upheld me by my honesty. And that's how you clean it up and get the right word instead of triumph. You are pleased with me because my enemy now does not. You are pleased with me because of my enemy now does not shout, nor shout over me, for you upheld. Well, I think there's a lot of changes that I could do here, but I'm not really seeing how this is all connecting, because 4 verse, now that would go up there. So let me take these verses, and do they really sound like they belong here? My friends whom I trusted ate my bread with me, have risen against me. Why be gracious to me, and rise up that I may repay them? By this I know you are pleased with me, because my enemy now does not shout, nor shout over me, for you upheld me by my honesty. You upheld me for my honesty. Okay. I don't think they go together. I really don't. I really don't think they go together. This is going to be out, because it doesn't go with anything below. This is a text that goes here. That's just stuck here. Okay, now let me clean it up one more time and see how I'm going to try to do this. Okay. Blessed is our King. Whoops, let me do it the easy way. Blessed is our King who considers our poor. YV will deliver him in his days of trouble. YV will protect him and keep him alive, and not give him over to the desires of his enemies. For our enemies, whoops, 2 spaces. For our enemies speak evil against us. When will they die off and their names end? Okay, no, that's possible. It doesn't really connect there. But now, when he comes to see me, well, I'm going to add this word, so I agree that stays. He speaks falsehood in his heart. He speaks falsehood in his heart. He has wickedness for me. Then he goes outside to tell many he hates me, and they whisper against me. Against me they plan for my death, that when I lie down, I will not rise up again. That just sticks there. I mean, there's nothing that hooks to. But it means I get rid of that, get that, and that goes over here. Now, Now, what do I want to do here? Do I want to take this up and see how it... Well, I can get rid of the numbers. That'll help. Because when I'm reading, it does kind of hit me and connect. So I'm going to stick it right there. This I don't need. I like that word there. I like the word death there. But this, again, it means these two have to hook together. Speak against us, and they will die off in their names. And even now, my friends, whom I trusted, ate bread with me, have risen against me. Okay, that connects. But this, I guess that's going to end up connecting. So what I need to do is say that 4 verse. I got to go up here and I got to move the text. So what I do is I make a note, move 3 groups. Is that 1, 2, 3? Yeah. 3 groups up. And then I can get rid of the 4 verse. And what I'll do is take them and then make them 8 point. So that's where they started from. And paste them here. Move 3 groups here. Moved 3 groups here. Okay. Oops, what the hell happened? No, I want to hit save. I don't know what combination I hit. Okay, now they're right there. And they need to be cleaned up as far as looking good as a small separation and a large separation. And then that, 2, 2, 1. Okay. And then this one, I'm saying is separated. These I moved up, so I don't need them down here. That's what's going on. Okay. Now up here, this has to be words from a scribe. It's the only way I can put it. He's talking about their king, then he's talking about how the people are enemy. He's talking about how gracious our Creator is to the king. Be gracious to me as well. But I think that's good enough to say that that's the end there of that one. Now, what I try to do here is give you a screenshot by grabbing all this text, saying, okay, where's this one here? And then pasting it in here. Wow, that was pretty quick. And then blow it up. And let me see how I got the cursor out of the way. No, got the cursor out of the way, and then you can take a snapshot of that. And maybe I can move that over a little bit. I don't think I can blow it up any bigger. Yep, one more step bigger. And then you've got that to look at and read and see how beautiful that is when it's all cleaned up. And of course, these aren't done. I will go over them all again. I've already have a couple of them that I've done before, and I found a few things that I needed to clean up. So this will happen a little bit more.